You're watching the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast.
Hi there, this is Brent Smith and I'm the Common Constitutionalist, and once again, welcome to the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. Got a fun one today. I've entitled it, I want to be a spaceman, and that will make sense at the end of this video. I'll try to keep it shorter than it has been. Man, I get wordy. Ridiculous. At any rate, so I'll be talking about Fauci, lockdowns, masks, all sorts of good stuff, and I want to be a spaceman. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, Fauci has come up with something new to scare the public and to burden us, basically, at least burden the already frightened American public. I don't know if it's most, but a lot. So many people are just freaked out. And Mr. Dr. Fauci, you're just going to add to it now? Again, what a jerk. The guy's incredible, whatever. Anyway, way back when, it seems, Fauci said we must wear masks. Remember that? I don't know if that was February or March or something like that. So everybody runs out and buys up all the masks, and this cleans out the stock worldwide, right? Then Fauci says, masks are ineffective. Don't wear masks. Move the goalpost. Boom, okay? It's all about moving the goalpost, too. Or just basically move the target. It's like whack-a-mole, all right? You know the game whack-a-mole. It's like going to I liken it to going to a shooting range. You have a static target and you're standing still or sitting or laying down still, and you fire at a target and it's relatively simple to hit, okay? Then the target starts moving side to side, back and forth, diagonally and whatnot. It ain't so easy to hit. And then you start moving, and it's even more difficult to hit, okay? That's where the experience factor. But that's what I liken it to. But simply put, it's like whack-a-mole. You just can't find the goalpost anywhere. Regardless of the motivation of the Fauci, that the Fauci apologist proffer, that he only said, well, masks are ineffective, which is a total crock, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. Because the only reason why it caused a shortage in hospitals and medical staff and medical professionals. But he still said it, which confused all the lemmings. And if you're a lemming, you know what I mean. But the Fauci, I'd say, well, he just said that to not scare the public, okay? It just confused the public, not scare the public. Move the goalpost again. But this is the typical go-to mindset of bureaucrats in the public sector, that we, the people, the private sector, can't be trusted. Okay, the American people are stupid, so we just have to lie. So the bureaucrats that know it all have to just lie to us and manipulate us, but it's for our own good, of course, right? That's what they always say. It's always for our own good, because we don't know better. Instead, an honest official, an honest public official might get on camera and say, my fellow Americans, doesn't even necessarily have to be Trump. Our medical professionals need help. They need your help. It seems the stock of whatever the mask, N95, EIEIO mask, whatever, our hospitals need has been completely depleted. So I'm asking everyone out there, if they have masks to spare, we could really use your help. Please bring whatever you can to the nearest hospital. That's the only clarion cry you have to make one time to the people of the United States. Unlike these bureaucratic dirtbags, the American people would once again rise to the occasion, as we always do, first and foremost, and hospitals would be literally drowning in masks within 2 or 3 days. literally drowning in the correct masks, clean, sealed masks within a few days. I guarantee you that that's what would have happened. But no, of course not. Fauci and the rest of them, of the bureaucrats, the autocrats, have a default mindset, and that the private sector is that's where all the evil resides, the malevolence, as it were, the cheats and the liars, and the rest of the private sector, the rest of the people are just plain stupid. So we have to lead them around, you know, like with a nose ring or some damn thing, or a leash. It's only government that's honest and fair and benevolent. That's their, I'm serious, that's their go-to default position. That's anybody who is a pro-government progressive, a big government progressive, that's their default position, guaranteed every time. And of course that is completely ass backwards, as we know. The generosity and compassion of the American people and the American private sector is unmatched in the world and unmatched in history, I may add. All you have to do is ask and then get the hell out of the way and let the American people do what they do. All you have to do is look back at every time that there's a natural disaster in America or worldwide, and the American people step up first, foremost, and most, period. You don't have to even say anything. All you got to do is put one plea out there and just get out of the way. But then came the same scare tactics that we were all going to die, so we have to lock everything down. I mean, that's what China did, right? And look how trustworthy they are. Don't trust a freer society like Sweden that they're going to do the right thing and not lock down and not wear masks and so on and so on. Don't trust the freer country, the more honest country. Trust the Chinese, okay? Because they aren't dishonest. They don't lie and cheat and steal. Of course not. So we'll trust those guys. They're the map, okay? So again, move the goalposts. Then all we have to do is flatten the curve, and all will be right. Move them goalposts again. There you go. Just keep moving them. Follow the bouncing ball if you can. Follow the moving target if you can. Then we flatten the curve, and shazam, there's a spike in contractions. There's no spike in deaths necessarily, and masks are optional in most places at this point. But whatever, you got to move the goalposts back again and lock everything back down again, except for the essentials like Black Lives Matter, Antifa riots. They're essential, so they don't get locked down. We don't have to worry about them wearing masks. We can't even ask about them wearing masks. Then, mandate wearing masks virtually everywhere. Move the goalposts again. Take a quick break. Be right back. We'll continue with the fun and frivolity of...
You're watching the Common Constitutionalist video podcast.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
All right, I am back in the USSA. Get it? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, then move the goalposts again. We have to mandate mask wearing virtually everywhere. Okay. We have we have to end all house parties. Turn their water and electricity off if they don't comply with the Communist Party edicts. Well, I'm sorry, not Communist Party edicts, same thing. I mean the Politburo that runs the city of Los Angeles, if you haven't heard that that's what they do. If there's an excessive house party, people actually having fun, getting together and not doing what the government tells them that they must do or else, this is what happens if you haven't heard. It's ridiculous. So now here we are, masked up and locked down again. And Fauci now adds that we will be masked up until at least a vaccine is developed. There we go, move them up again. Back, forth, side to side, diagonally. Just keep moving that target. No one will ever hit it. Seems to me that that's what's going on here. They want to purposely just keep moving it around so nobody ever hit it. And Fauci is the worst of the worst because he's the guy. He's the classic 15 minutes of fame guy. He's loving the limelight. He's loving the interviews. He's loving the adulation, the adoration from the left, from anyone at this point. He is just loving life, and so he wants this to continue. And if this problem is solved, they won't. It's like the Democrats. It's just like the Democrats. If we solve poverty, if we solve this, if we solve that, if we solve racism, what do we need Democrats for? So they purposely put forth policies and they make up new problems so these problems can never be solved because you just keep moving the goalposts. No matter what you accomplish, that's not enough. Keep moving the goalposts. But they're not done yet they're not quite done with the authoritarianism or goalpost shifting. Now Fauci, the government hack that plays a doctor on TV, excuse me, just said this in an interview with ABC just this past Wednesday. Ready for this? ABC interview. ABC loves them some Dr. Fauci. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert. No, he's not. He's the nation's top hack. This week said if you haven't heard this, you better be sitting down. Hope you got some strong, like Gorilla duct tape. That's what you're going to need. This week said wearing goggles or an eye shield in addition to wearing a face mask would provide better protection against the coronavirus, according to a report. Quote, theoretically, you should protect all the mucosal surfaces, eyes, nose, mouth, other orifices. You need to wear a chastity belt too now or something? I don't know. Come on. Just kidding. Not really. That's next. So if you have goggles and an eye shield, you should use it, quote unquote. So there they go. They just moved the goalpost again. So what are we supposed to do with this? I mean, we're supposed to wear a face mask or goggles, like swim goggles or a swim mask, and a mask on top of that. And I don't know. And what about the ears? What are you supposed to wear earmuffs too? Do they have special masks? Those blue and white masks for ears? Because that's next, right? It's an orifice. That's next, right? Okay? Just saying. Fear not. Necessity is the mother of invention. Let me prepare. You're gonna love this. I can't even stand it. As you see this picture that I'm about to show you, just keep in mind the first James Bond film, Dr. No, in 1962. James Bond film, Dr. No. In my opinion, still the best James Bond movie ever. Loved it. Just absolutely loved it. Okay? You ready for this? Let me grab it. I can't stand it. I gotta zoom in on this bad Larry. Alright, here we go. Come on, you sucker. There we go. You digging this? This is okay. Everybody got this? Okay, let's see if I can read this and fold it up at the same time. Ah, crap. Hold on a minute. This monstrosity is called the BioVisor. B-I-O, capital V, capital Y, capital Z, capital R. And this little snippet is directly from their website. Are you loving this? Hold on a minute. As strangely, this is a quote from their website, the BioVisor website. As strangely dystopian as it may look, it might just put us on a fast track to a more social future. Really. More comfortable and definitely more protective than a face mask or a face shield, the BioVisor creates a bubble of safety. It reminds me of the old Get Smart TV show where they have the cone of silence around you. It doesn't just sit around your nose and mouth like a mask or guard your eyes like a clear visor. It just encapsulates your entire torso in a hazmat suit inspired bubble that keeps you ventilated and safe from airborne pathogens and germs. Okay? Let me back off here. Back to normal-ish. As normal as I can be. Okay. And it can be yours for a mere $173. Okay? $173. Now, next one. I asked if does this remind you of anything? And if you've seen the movie, the film Dr. No, and if you haven't, I think you might be a communist. I'm just saying. Here we go. This is from the 1962 film Dr. No. Does that look familiar? Does anyone? Does the name Dr. No ring strike a familiar note with you? There you go. This is history repeating itself, okay? So there's Dr. No, 1969, evil specter villain. Gotta see it. If you haven't seen it, you're either dumb or you're a communist or just uninformed. So there you go. So when you woke up, just a real quick question before I cease and desist here. When you woke up on New Year's Day, maybe with a hangover, maybe not, hopefully not, 2020, just 8 lousy freaking months ago, could you have imagined walking around looking like some 1950s spaceman? I want to be a spaceman. That's like Henry Nilsson or something like that, before my time, but still, enough said. I want to be a spaceman. I'm going to get one of those bio visors, and I'm going to put a metal hand on me, and I'm going to become Dr. No and try to take over the world from the island of Jamaica. So there you go. That's all I've got. My name's Brent Smith. I'm the common constitutionalist. Things just keep getting more ridiculous, sir. That's all I got. See ya.